going on, wrestling fans? It is I, Steve Fall, and welcome to 10 Count on today's edition. I feel like I should dance, I should sing, I should do something because I feel a little fire. I fire a little flavor. It's Tasha Steelz. How you doing today?
You know what? I really love that. I
Ooh.
love that intro that you did. So far I hear a lot of people give Tasha Steelz an intro, and
Mm.
so far I think you and one other person have just introed me very, very well. And you know what? I have to send you a complimentary Flavor Gang chain because you just do it so well. You do it so well.
I will hang it on my La Parka cowboy right here for the world to see below my Medusa book next to my Bill
Mhm.
Apter book. These people have earned the spot on the shelf, just like Doink the Clown right there. You will earn a spot on this. I love Doink, but I think you're much better represented here with that lovely chain. But we're talking about so many things right now with you in the wrestling business. It seems like everything is going crazy because Multiverse United #2 is coming August. And this is exciting because I was at the first one in LA where we had Impact and New Japan compete against each other. Now, let's throw out a scenario, a fantasy
Mhm.
scenario, which seems like it could be based in reality. Mercedes Mone defending the IWGP Women's Championship against you. Is this possible?
The CEO versus the Boricua badass. I see it. I definitely see it. A lot of people have been seeing it as well.
Mm-hmm.
And never say never. You can never say never, and we're gonna just manifest it right now. We're gonna speak it into existence, and hopefully at Multiverse United 2, everyone will get to see Tasha Steelz versus Mercedes Mone.
I think we need it because I interviewed Kyrie a few weeks ago. We talked about her being the first IWGP championship, losing to Mercedes. Well, okay, talk to Kyrie. I already interviewed Sasha Banks when she was known as that. Now
Mhm.
we're putting it into the universe, the multi-universe that you are going to be the future IWGP Women's Championship at Multiverse United in August. So put it out there,
Woo!
folks. I feel
Why
like
not have a triple threat match? All three of us just in
listen,
there at the same
oh,
time.
I just got lightheaded for a minute. What's going on here? I didn't eat my breakfast properly? But yeah, that would be outstanding. I would love it so much. But as we're talking right now, we are one day separated from the most recent Impact pay-per-view Rebellion. You are not
Mhm.
on the card. As the Hurricane would say, what's up with that?
You know what? Flavor, I sometimes when I deliver flavor, sometimes I have to just step back a little bit
Mm,
and just let other people add their own seasoning. But Rebellion was just so damn good
yeah.
that you know what? A little flavor did not even need to be added.
Mm.
Jordan Grace, Deanna Perrazzo killed it in the main event, and I am so, so proud of them. I have been in the ring with them both, and I am so proud of them. Main eventing, women just main eventing, period, is just what I love to see. So whether it's me, anybody else, just women main eventing on Impact, period, is just the greatest thing ever. And they killed it last night. Like they really told a story, and it showed who wanted the championship more. And obviously Deanna won, and she poured all her emotions out. And I'm just so proud of my girl. She just overcame a lot of trials and tribulations, and I'm proud of her.
I know it felt like for so long she was untouchable. Deanna, that
Mm-hmm.
is. Jordan as well, but Deanna was on a roll. Through the
Mm-hmm.
pandemic, defeating Jordan Grace just about 2.5 years ago now with nobody in the audience, not one soul. And as time went on, she'd compete in AAA. She'd compete in AEW. Like there was a streak of Deanna every single place. And then somewhere along the line, I think maybe Mickey James, her loss, Mickey James set her off on a path that suddenly it felt like she was pushed in the background. And I was shocked because as someone who was a big supporter of her and realized how much work she was putting in, it felt like suddenly I'm like, what happened? Where did the rails fall off? But now back on the rails with her husband as also the Impact World Heavyweight Champion as well, Steve Macklin. So this is a power couple ruling over professional wrestling right now. But I was a little upset that you went on Rebellion. But again, we have so much coming up with Slamversary, Multiverse United. So there's a lot of things going on there. And women main eventing is a huge thing going on. And the reason Deanna and Jordan even main event was because Mickey James is injured and could not continue. Now you have the honor of defeating Mickey James for that Knockouts Championship. How'd that feel? Was that validation for all of your hard work finally paying off?
I feel like it was, and I felt like it was just a to me just a passing of the torch moment, that paving that way moment for me. Because I've gotten in the ring with so many of my peers, and I felt like I was ready. But the ultimate test was, can you get in the ring with someone legendary, someone that has Hall of Famer status, someone who has done everything you could possibly think of that you want to do? Can you hang in the ring with them and gain that respect from them? And when I did that, and I took the Knockout World Championship from Mickie James, I've not only got that torch passed to me, but I've gained that respect from her. And I will forever stand by being the greatest that beat the greatest, and no one can say that now. And that's a moment, that's just something I'm proud of.
Hey.
But yeah. I have just so much, love and respect for Mickie James, and I definitely appreciated her just stepping in the ring with me, and her just wanting to step in the ring with not just me, but all the knockouts, just giving all of us a chance. And that's just something you don't see every day. But that it was just a great feeling. And I don't know. I still get butterflies to this day talking about it.
It's awesome. You should always get butterflies.
I love it.
The fact that, though, you held the championship for 109 days, there's only been 65 reigns in Impact Wrestling for the Knockouts Championship. You're the 20th. 1 through 20, you're top 20 out of 65 reigns. And the belt's been around, I believe, since 2008, 2010-ish, when Gail Kim and Awesome Kong competed in a 10-woman battle royal at Bound for Glory to determine the first ever champion. So those are legendary names already, Awesome Kong and Gail Kim. Now you're in the top 20 reigns of all time. That, again, is another check mark on your career. But January 8th, 2022, Hard to Kill, you won the first ever women's Ultimate X match. Now, how hard was it for that match to be booked? Because, again, women's wrestling and Impact, I feel like, is always a step ahead of the rest of the companies. But yet here we are. Ultimate X has been around since like 2005. And it took up until 2022 for this to happen. I feel like I have to keep quoting the Hurricane. What's up with that?
At first, it wasn't going to happen. It was myself and Jordan Grace actually pushing for this match. As women, we want to always do more and do better than the guys. So we always think about, okay, what can we do that can top the guys? We see them in these different type of matches, and we're like, well, we can do that too. Yeah. So, Jordan and I, we just kept pushing Scott. We just kept like getting in his ear, like, hey, Ultimate X match for the women, Ultimate X match, Ultimate X match. And I think at first he just thought it wowould just be me and Jordan that would sign up. But no, there was an entire women's locker room back behind us that was like, I'll do it. Like, we all were doing it. And I believe it was Slammiversary of 2021 that the guys had their Ultimate X match. And we were like, they had the setup already, and we were like, all right, look, watch this. And all of us just went up and just started climbing it and just showing Scott, like, hey, listen, we can do this. Like, don't doubt us out. We can do this. And we just kept pushing it. Jordan and I, we just kept pushing it. And then a lot of the girls started talking and pushing it. And then finally, when Hard to Kill came, Scott was just like, all right, let's just see how this goes. And you had a great group of women that first ever on this Ultimate X match, and we killed it, and we did the damn thing. Hurt like hell falling.
I bet.
I commend the guys, but they're like 6 foot so tall, so it's like their fall is not that. It's just not. We're all like 5 feet, 5'1", 5'2", so our fall is a little steeper than theirs. But we still, at the end of the day, we asked for it, we got it, we killed it, and I won. And I hope there's more. I definitely hope there's more. But if not, I love going down as the first ever winner of the Ultimate X match for the women. But I hope there's more. It has to be more.
There has to be more. Again, like, there's Queen of the Mountain. There's other been matches that the men were a part of for so long, but in the women finally. And again, to me, it's a little shocking because Impact Wrestling, like I brought up, first person to bring in women's tag team titles, first people to have a championship that wasn't surrounded by bra and panty matches and pillow fights. That was Impact Wrestling. And it feels like Impact will never get its flowers, no matter what people say, no matter what people do. And it's a bit shocking. And I don't know if it's because of the past management before Scott D'Amore came in, that there was a disparaging taste in people's mouths that they can't wash out no matter how much mouthwash they use, no matter how many main event matches, Ultimate Next matches. It just feels like there's a path that no one can get, a hump can't get over. But either way, every time, it doesn't matter what those people think, because every time Impact has a pay-per-view or special event, it's been selling out nonstop. Rebellion, Hard to Kill, every single one since this year has sold out. And I gotta say, that's gotta be a good feeling, because again, you're going to Philly, you're going to Toronto. Where do you want Impact to go next? Because there's so many places.
I want to go home. I want Impact to come to Jersey. I want Impact to come back to the tri-state area. I know the last time Impact was in New York was Poughkeepsie and Buffalo, but I want Impact to come to my home. And my home is Jersey, tri-state area, this New York City. Like, that's my home, and I would love to perform there. I would love to have my friends and my family there just to see me perform. That's the first place I want to go. I love going in the Midwest. I love going to Chicago. I love going everywhere else, but I that would be the first place I would want to go. I want to come back home and for Impact to bring it back to the tri-state area. And then, of course, I would love to go out to the West Coast, and not just Vegas, but California. California is such a huge state, and I know there's areas that we can just go in, and people have been asking for it as well. So I know there's areas that we can go in and just kill it and sell out like always and stay ahead of the curve. I mean, that is just basically Impact has been staying ahead of the curve. And, we don't have to get the flowers publicly, but we already know what we do. So we kill it each and every time. But yeah, I would love for Impact to come back to the tri-state area.
Yeah. I also think publicly the flowers need to be thrown face first, because you deserve it. I think, I don't understand why there's a random moment of time where the top three companies are WWE, AEW, Impact Wrestling. Like, there's no denying that. And if you want to play that game, I'll throw numbers right at your face of sellouts, merchandise sales, live events. Like, don't play that game with me, because I'll throw numbers right back at you. So
we need you to be our spokesperson.
I will do it. Tell the people in charge. I won't say his name out loud, but he knows. He knows. Yeah. We're on the same page. He's got my cell phone number. Though in November it was rumored that you weren't going to come back to Impact Wrestling. You came back, you signed a new deal, but then January it seemed like you stepped away for a moment. What was the reasoning of stepping away?
Yeah, so I love a good just speculating. I don't think people do that nowadays. A lot of people, they predict as to what you're going to do next. And that's the thing, like social media and trolls and everything like that. They always predict what you're going to do next. And I like to keep people questioning what I do. I never just leave it all out there. I like for them to question. But at the time, after I did sign my new deal and I did ask for time off, I had to just step back and find Tasha Steelz. Because of me losing the championship, and I felt like I was just at the top of my game, but reality struck, and reality just basically told me, no, you're not, and there's some things you need to work on, there's things you need to do. And that's with everybody, that's not just with me. Everybody has that moment. So I had to just really step back and just really work on being a better Tasha Steelz for not just myself, but everyone who supported me, and including everyone in that locker room at Impact, and management, and the girls and guys. Like, they've all just stood behind me during that time. And I did what I did, and I found myself, and I got better, and things have just been great so far, and made my return in Windsor. Saved my girl, she just kept getting jumped. But I was like, hell no, Team Adams all the way through and through. Came in, saved my girl, and we had a great moment. And Tasha Steelz is back, and more flavor added very, very soon.
Oh, I love it so much. And you bring up flavor, but let's talk about the fire and flavor for a little bit, because you and Kiera Hogan were a dominant force during the pandemic of Impact Wrestling, but then Kiera Hogan left Impact Wrestling. No one really knew why. Now she's in AEW. She was with Jade Cargill, but then she kind of slipped away into, into a world where it seems like AEW characters and wrestlers, you're on top, you're on bottom, you're on top, you're on bottom. There's a weird roller coaster ride there, but great company doing great business as well. Was there an option? How are you feeling about this when you're being told by Kiera, hey, by the way, I'm going to leave? And at the time, Fire and Flavor, you're shooting on all cylinders. Without the
Oh, yeah.
half of you, how are you feeling about this? And were you told beforehand?
Of course. Kiera and I, we have been friends for a very long time. She's basically my sister. She's my little sister. Everyone say we look alike anyway. So we've had this talk. And when her deal was coming up and she was just undecided what to do, I was just like, Fire and Flavor, we're at the top of our game. We're the best. I'm gonna say it to this day, we're the best women's tag team ever. We deliver so much and our chemistry is just on point. And I don't think there's anybody that can just match what we do in the ring, outside the ring. Like everyone's seen it throughout 2020. Like we were the most entertaining.
Of
So,
course.
but I just felt like talking to her, I said, you have to just, and this is what we all think about when it comes to just our careers. It's just exploring other options, just figuring out what's best for you. And I've told her that all the time. I said, hey, listen, you have to find what's best for you. At the end of the day, we're always going to be Fire and Flavor, but you always have to just find what's best for you. And I said, if you want to go out and you want to just see what else is out there, do it. You only get this life, you only get this career one time. You can't go back and redo it. So go out and do it. And I will always be here at the end of the day. I will still be your sister. I will always be your friend. I will always be there at the end of the day. And Fire and Flavor is never going to die. So we can reunite somewhere else. We'll do it. Want to reunite back in Impact? We'll do it. However you want to do, but go out and just explore whatever you need to. And before she made that decision, we sat and talked about it and, told me what she was going to do before she announced it to the
Mm.
world and to Impact. And I was just happy for her. She went to AEW, did her thing, did some things with Jade, and now she's just back on the solo path where she should be. And she's going to be killing it, very, very soon. So just, I don't, I'm never upset about what the decision that she made, because if that's the case, I don't think that I could have been on a solo path of being the Knockouts champion, and she would have never figured out, where she wanted to be as far as her career. So I think that was just pretty good for the both of us, and just never say never a Fire Flavor reunion.
Well, good to hear. Good to hear. Because yeah, there was at the time I was in shock. I was like, Fire and Flavor. What do you mean it's not gonna happen anymore? But as you brought up, it's good to hear that you're actually family and friends outside the wrestling business, because sometimes you hear stories of, oh, we were a tag team on TV, but we weren't friends. We don't travel
Oh
together.
yeah,
And you're like,
I
oh,
hate that. Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
It's so terrible.
Yeah, yeah, and it always is sad to see. But with so much happening with Kiera Hogan, there are rumors with AEW splitting up their roster and having a show on Saturday nights with possibly the returning CM Punk on Saturdays, and the Elite on Wednesdays. Because if you don't know, there's friction. If you're living underneath a rock in the wrestling world, there's friction. Yet, where do you think that could land, Kiera? Because again, this opportunity, when you have two options of shows, 2 hours means more opportunities. Do you think that's going to help her and, of course, the rest of the roster that we see, but we don't see enough?
Well, wherever she goes, as far as if it's Saturday shows, Wednesday, Friday, it doesn't matter as long as she's getting the opportunities that she deserves.
Yeah.
That's best for her. That's what I'm happy about. I just don't want to see her either sitting on a sideline, sitting in the background. Like, she is so talented to where she can be world champion, women's world champion one day, whether it's Ring of Honor women's world champion or AEW women's world champion, come back to Impact, be Impact women's world champion. It doesn't matter. Her opportunities are just, it's endless out there for her. And wherever she lands, she's going to kill it like the fire that I know she is.
Oh, I love it. A little Fire and Flavor. It seems like Fire and Flavor still exists, just one's in Impact, one's in AEW. But the Fire and Flavor will always live in all of us who are fans, who survived that damn ugly ass pandemic with the help of the Fire and the Flavor and Hernandez instilling the wad of money. That was
Yes.
good shit. That was
our favorite thing, actually.
that was the best thing ever. That and a Wrestle House were the greatest things to come out of the Impact pandemic episodes of, oh, what's going on with this wad of money? Because someone was getting married, and then you had Wrestle House with the wad of money still involved. Brilliant stuff from all, but I know there are time restraints here, so I will let you go. But it has been an honor. It has been a privilege celebrating your career, celebrating Fire and Flavor, and having a good time just chit-chatting away about wrestling in general. So I've been Seafall. She's Tasha Steelz. She's taking over the wrestling world with her fire and her flavor. But we will see you next time on 10 Count. Have a good one. Bye-bye.